vibe to him. Like when you see him cut loose and you see Mel Gibson really get down and boogie, there's something really great there to see. And it just felt like we were robbed of that.
Yeah, and I would have been fine with him as the villain, but again, it's like he's not given much to do. Mm-hmm. It's just the young bucks I don't give a fuck about.
Yeah. Like what?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
I was about to say Expendables is pretty much expendable.
Yeah. Like Rhonda was okay. I didn't mind Rhonda, but the other guys didn't really have like the backbone for it. Like Rhonda you can get away with because Rhonda's kind of like, she's a fighter coming into the movie. And I think that they utilized her pretty good, but like those other guys I didn't care for in the first place, and like I don't want to see a Twilight guy as my action star,
Exactly. So let me ask you this then. Which do you think they dropped the ball on more? Escape Plan or Expendables?
I would have to say Expendables just because, like, they promised us one thing and they gave us something else. And, maybe, Escape Plan, okay, it didn't have, like, a prequel following, it didn't have other films before it. They were pumping this Expendables 3 as, like, the last time out, the last ride. It's going to be bigger and better. And it wasn't. And there was a lot of problems with it. There was, just the PG-13 thing alone, I think that killed them. That and the film getting leaked. Those two, the combination of those two, at least if they had like an R rating, like a heavy R rating behind it, could have saved it. Some people would have said, okay, maybe I'll go see it in the theater anyway. Because they had such a good time watching it at home or whatever. That could have saved it. But, I've always had a problem with that. When you take like a big, like Blade for example, the first one, it's R rating. Second one, PG-16, 16 plus. Third one, PG-13. I've always had a problem with that, like, degrading your sequels.
Yeah, it's like you're watering it down.
Yeah, and this is coming from the king of action, if anything. You go back and you look at Rambo, for example, and it just gets higher and higher as the films go. And you look at this Expendables thing, and it's kind of like it just goes lower and lower as it goes.
And you can tell it really started to go that way with the second Expendables film. You have to grab guys like Liam Hemsworth who didn't belong in the film. Mm-hmm. It's funny because I watched the second film again, and compared to Expendables 3 and Escape Plan, Expendables 2 is a good film. Mm-hmm. I'll take that over Escape Plan and Expendables 3.
Oh yeah.
There's things I don't like about the second film, but they're compared to those two, I'll watch that. I'll take that.
Yeah. Like Expendables 2 kind of had that a little bit more of that darker tone compared to the third one. Like, you knew that there was some kind of evil going on in there. To leave everything in the third movie just on Mel Gibson the way that they did, but not really bring out Mel Gibson's full potential, it didn't work. Plus they had, like, with the first Expendables, they had a comic book series that came out before the movie that talked about the origins of the Expendables. And then Mel Gibson was nowhere in there, so.
And but at least the second film, you had Van Damme, you had Chuck Norris.
Yeah, and Van Damme was a little bit believable, like, you knew that he was going to be evil.
Yeah, and he played a good bad guy, but it's kind of like with Mel Gibson, just not a lot to do. Mm-hmm. But, we talk about these films and what should Stallone do next. I know that he's working on a mob TV series, kind of like a take on Godfather.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think he's just getting tired?
Well, it's weird because I heard for a long time it was going to be about Gregory Scarpa. he was going to do a movie about Gregory Scarpa. And I saw one teaser image with like a, I'm not sure if it was for just a photo shoot or what it was for, but Sly was wearing like a silver suit and there was blood all over him. I think it's on his Instagram. And there's like a car all smashed up and full of blood and stuff. I was expecting that because that would have been, at least that would have been a Stallone we've never seen. You know, like a Stallone battling with AIDS, being a mob informant, one of these guys who was like a family man, but like a don't cross family man, like really abusive. We would have seen like a different type of Sly altogether. And now they're talking about this Godfather thing, and it's kind of like, wow, you know. Once again, they let go of something that could have been really great.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it. There's a name for it, but Stallone, you know, I know he's a guy that's been able to reinvent himself, you know, a lot in the past. And, you know, Rocky Balboa, I just think at this point he's just kind of, I think he's getting tired. And it's starting to show, especially from Expendables 3. And I know, like, Escape Plan sucked. Creed just wasn't for me. I think Stallone should just take a break or just step behind the camera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely like to see him do something behind the camera again.
So maybe that's what he needs, just to direct action films. You know, work with Statham, work with Dolph, work with somebody.
Yeah, because you would think that would be the natural progression. You would think that would be, you know, just what should come next.
Yeah, and he's a good director. He's proved that time and time again. So I think that's what he should do.
Yeah.
But question number 2: what should Arnold do now, considering his string of shitty films like Sabotage, Terminator, Sega Genesis, etc.?
Oh man, I don't know. Arnold. Wow.
Have you seen Sabotage?
Yeah, I didn't really like it. I thought that was kind of like, what are they doing with this one? It was like Terminator against Terminator, you know. It was just like to put both Terminators in the movie and let them hash it out, but
I don't think they could have saved the Genesis.
Yeah, Terminator 5 was kind of like I gotta give it to them, like of what they were trying to do, but there was just certain things that they shouldn't have done if they were trying to do that one certain thing. Like,
it's like they try to be Back to the Future too.
Yeah, and they did not hide that fact. Even like when they were going into production, they said it's going to be like Back to the Future too. They said it's going to be like, you know, like the Enchantment Under the Sea, where they put this movie into that movie. It's kind of like, you know, story-wise, I can say, okay, you know what, I would have bought it. But they should have done other things. Like, they should have really gotten their actors to really believe what they were doing. And having, who was the guy who played Kyle Reese?
Jai Courtney?
Yeah, Jai Courtney. Like, why would you have this super jacked, buff, big guy as Michael Biehn? You know, why? Like, you would think that in the future there wasn't a lot to eat. There wasn't, you know, he would be a scrawny little guy. You know, like, humanity's on their last brink, right? Why would we have like these buff, huge guys?
Well, to be honest, I think Jai Courtney is becoming sequel poison. Look at Die Hard 5. Look at this film.
Yeah, definitely.
I think he's just
yeah.
That's the thing. I think he's not like the worst actor I've ever seen, but at the same time he sucked as Kyle Reese.
Yeah.
And Emilia Clarke, I'm glad she's not doing it anymore. I'm glad she's not going to play that character because she's a shitty Sarah Connor. She's not believable. She's not badass. She's a like a teeny bopper.
Like honest, and that's another thing is they didn't look the part. You know, imagine if they would have got Eddie Furlong as John Connor. He could have been believable because he's of that age, or going into that period in his life where he would have been acceptable. They could have got someone who, like, don't tell me in this whole world there's not another guy who doesn't look like a young Michael Biehn. And, like, you know, if they couldn't find anyone for Linda Hamilton's character, hire one of those fucking Olsen twins, or at least someone who looks like a younger Linda Hamilton. You know,
I don't know if the Olsen twins would have saved it, but
let's say as an example.
Emilia Clarke, I know why they did it, because the same director works on Game of Thrones. That's why they did it.
Yeah.
And fuck Game of Thrones. I know people are gonna get mad. I don't know if you watch it.
I don't watch that show. My girlfriend watches it, but I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
Terminator Genesis sucks dick, and I know Arnold wants to do a T6. Fuck that, I don't want to see that, especially with Arnold's Terminator smiling, two bad boys, what you gonna do? You know? Oh, shit. But it's funny because, you know, we're getting this question about Arnold, and there's actually some Arnold news that I want to get to.
Can I just throw this little interjection in there?
Oh, go ahead.
Is that I'm guilty of this one thing of after seeing Terminator 5, I wanted to see where Terminator 6 would go because of the whole Arnold T-1000 thing at the end, and because of the what do you call that? That machine at the end. There was like a rumor going around that they were going to start doing interdimensional and time travel at the same time, whereas Terminator is about time travel. The next film was going to cross with interdimensional time travel. So that other guy, the Doctor Who guy who was in there, who played the guy who infected John Connor, apparently he's seen this fail time and time again because of the interdimensional thing. And they didn't really flesh that out in the movie, but they were talking about it in different interviews. And that for me was kind of interesting. But I still going to see that movie, I really had to put out of my brain, like I really had to like take out of my brain Jai Courtney. You know, he kind of ruined it for me.
Well, it was a very bland performance.
Yeah.
Just like Emilia Clarke.
And I just didn't buy him because he was so big and buff, and I didn't, you know, it just didn't feel like, it kind of felt like, you know, they totally disrespected Michael Bihn's character.
They should have just brought back Michael Biehn and Lena Hamilton. I know they talked about it.
Yeah. Yeah. That would have been amazing.
T6, I know what the ending happening of T5 is, that he pretty much became liquid metal. I don't know where they're going to go from here. To be honest with me, I don't have interest because of T5. It just, you know, I didn't have any interest before T5, and it just, when I saw the film, it just, I feel justified of the things I said before. And
yeah. It's like one of those things where I wanted to like it, but I kind of knew what was coming anyway. And then, you know, for like a couple of days after I saw it, I was like, I wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt. But the more I thought about it, and, you know, the longer time got on, and seeing it again because my girlfriend wanted to see it and stuff like that, it killed it for me the second time around. I was like, okay, anything I could have said that was good about that movie,